It's okay to be Takay. Okay, so I'm doing a little bit of a tour of all my little tour programs and theatre programs, and this is when I went to see George Takei, and even with George Takei, I'd met him at a convention and had some photos and autograph taken and everything, and had a chat with him. He was really nice. I met Brad, he was really nice. I shared how like I felt about like the whole weddings and everything, and that they like the first registered and all that, and they were the first gay married couple I'd met and everything, and that was really nice. Now there was a bit of a story with this show. I think it was in a theatre, and I had bad seats. At first, I was up in the top, and I wanted to move down to the bottom because I had better seats available later. So I bought the better seat and tried to return the other seat, and the lady just wasn't having it. And eventually, he'd made some statement that had caused some controversy just before this, and just because she just wouldn't give me the refund, and like she wouldn't accept my excuses for just so I just said, oh well, I was really offended by what he said, so I don't want to see him, blah blah blah. And she eventually just accepted it. I thought, thank God. And I went to the show, and she must have put me on some sort of watch list, because when I went there, they were waiting for me. They didn't stop me from seeing the show, but the security took me aside and gave me a good talking to, and I explained that I just said that because this lady wouldn't give me a refund and blah blah blah. And I had a name and everything, so I was going to complain about her. She was really horrible. And they seemed to listen to me, and they were nice. They let me go in and everything, but one of the security guys was just, I'm going to be watching you, so don't even get out of your seat. I'm like, okay. I was just happy to be let in. And it was hosted by Benjamin Law, who's quite cute. He's a, so I saw him actually go into the bathroom. He came in, and I was standing there washing my hands. I'm like, oh, do I be that guy and stop the celebrity in the bathroom and talk to them? Because he was obviously going just before he was about to start the show. I didn't want to bother him, so I just let him walk past like I didn't know it was him. And that's like the third time I've seen him in person and didn't stop him when I should have to say hi. One time he was just walking on the street and went to a tram stop, and I'm like, oh, do I go back and talk to him? And then he was gone. But okay, so this was the George Takei phenomenon, hosted by Benjamin Law, live on stage in Australia. Message from the producers. And just George talking about his life, talking about his time in the Japanese concentration camps, basically, that was set up during World War II, I think, where they basically took all the American citizens and just put them in jail, basically, and all their businesses were destroyed, their lives were destroyed because they did nothing but be of Japanese origin. It was pretty horrible, and he's managed to keep that in the public eye for decades, and he's done a really good job with that. So there's a story about his life and his history, his experiences, the stage play he was in about that. He wrote a book about it. He wrote a graphic novel about it. And he rivals William Shatner with his internet presence, and Shatner doesn't like it. And I think the only reason the two of them are still alive is just to spite each other. Neither one is... They don't want to let the other one get the last word, I think. And Walter's just sitting there watching it all, bemused, I think. So that's his wedding, of course. And Allegiance, that was the name of the play, which I wish I could have seen. And there's Benjamin Law. He had his own TV series based on his growing up. Star Observer. I had that issue. Was that an actual article, or was that just for this? Oh, well, they talked to him a bunch of times. Well, talking about Donald Trump even then. Oh, that's right. I didn't realise he was in one of the Britney episodes of because he was in Will and Grace as well. Well, it was a great night. I spoke to Brad again. I didn't really speak to George. I mean, not really. I was sort of with Brad when he was talking to him on stage. He was sort of talking to the audience, and it was all very social towards the end and that, and just afterwards, and that. It was really nice. It was a nice experience, except for how it began with that lady. She just wanted to try and ruin the show for me because I was arguing with her. Some people can be so petty. But I'm going to go. Feel free to share, like, comment, subscribe. Let me know what you thought of the George Takei phenomenon talking tour if you saw it.